I just woke up, and during my dream, I just felt this intense feeling that I missed him. You know, like, you ever had a dream where it just felt so real that you could feel the sensation in your body, and when you wake up, you have to realize that it wasn't real? My brother comes to me in my dreams sometimes, but he wasn't in my dream last night. In the dream, I was in some house. I don't even know what house it was. It's not a house I remember growing up in or anything like that. And we were having like a big family cookout, all sides of the family, and I just had this strong feeling that I missed him. So I went into the room that used to be his room and was just standing in there. And then I woke up and I just started thinking about him, and I just started crying, you know. My brother was killed. He was shot in the head and in the back of the head. November will be 13 years that he's been gone. 13 years feels like yesterday. If you've ever lost somebody that you really cared about, regardless if it was gun violence or not, then you know what I'm talking about. I think about him all the time, and every day. I always think about his smile. And he has such a distinct laugh. And sometimes I find myself just sitting there just trying to remember, trying to just hold on to that memory of what his laughter sounded like. And if for any moment I feel like that memory is slipping away, it started getting to me. I start panicking a little bit because I don't want to forget him. I don't want to forget anything about him. I'm sorry. My brother's killer was given 15 years. 15. Which, when me and my family heard that verdict that day, at least for me, it was so many mixed emotions, you know, because you have the thought of, well, at least they're getting some time. But then it's like 15 years though for a life. 15 years for a life, a young life. My brother was 19 and I had just turned 16. And I know his killer is getting out soon because, one, 13 years is pretty daggone close, but that person is still connected to people in the outside world, of course. And my brother, my younger brother, sent me a screenshot of somebody that knew the killer. The screenshot was this girl. She posted a picture of the person in prison with 2 middle fingers up and said, they told me to tell y'all that they coming home soon. Y'all better be ready. And when my brother sent that to me, he sent it with no text or anything. He didn't say anything. And my brother took his death a lot differently than I did. He changed a lot in a major way. And he can be kind of hard to talk to and stuff because he held in all that anger and it boiled over and he just became a different person. So me and my brother wasn't even really talking like that, which I know sounds bad, but my younger brother, he can really be on some ish. And it's only so much I'm gonna take from somebody, whether you family or not. We cool now, but during that time, we wasn't beefing, but we just weren't, you know, really vibing like that. So when he sent it to me, it was the first thing I saw in the morning, which is another reason why checking my phone first thing in the morning is not something that I do, because it killed my vibe for the rest of the day. When I saw that screenshot and the fact that he didn't say anything with it, I didn't even know how to take it in. My brother's killer is about to be prison free. While me and my family talk about him and reminisce and struggle with things like trying to retain the memory of how his laugh sounded. And I don't cry for my brother all the time because I know he is at where he's supposed to be. And he is in a way better place than this hellhole called Earth. But it's funny because every year since he's passed away, I usually get emotional around August. And it's crazy because I never know why. It's like I didn't pick up on it until like 2 years ago that I do it. But as soon as August start coming around, I just have this melancholy feeling drifting over me, and I just be so sad. And then eventually I realized that I'm thinking about my brother a lot, and I realized that that's what it is. But this year that didn't happen. I didn't get sad. I didn't get all those gloomy feelings I usually do around August. So I'm thinking, okay, some positive change may finally be happening. But here comes mid-October, and I just wake up in tears about him. My birthday is at the end of October, and my birthday was the second to last time I saw him before he died. He died November 12th. We were hanging outside of the house. He had just had his hair done. It was nicely braided back in the front, and then all the rest of it was in some box braids. We were all about to go to the fair. The fair always came out around my birthday. You could buy a ticket. I think it was like from 9 to 1 a.m. or something like that. Midnight Madness. You could ride all the rides and stuff at night. It was very popular. Everybody and their friends was always there. And I loved my brother. He was one of my role models. And to know that his killer is getting out soon, and I don't like to give that person no type of energy, no recognition or anything like that. Because for what? And then to see a picture getting posted of them sticking out both of their middle fingers like they don't give a freak. But I wasn't surprised though, because when we were at court that day, they kind of just sat there like, not even with this stone cold face, I would just say with a face like blah, like, so I couldn't expect somebody like that to change. But my mama said that day she forgive them, and she hoped that they find God and start walking on the right path. And his dad's wife stood up and said the same thing. And at the end, the sheriff and I think the judge, one of them walked up to my mama and his daddy, and it was like, out of my 20-something years of doing this job, I've never seen anything like that. My mama and my nana showed me the power of the love of God. She stood in front of that person and told them, I forgive you, after killing her son. And my brother, his body was located a block away from our house on the school campus, which was my little sister's elementary school. That's where his body was found. Now, I forget certain details of certain things, but the day my brother died is a day of details that I remember quite crisply in my mind. I remember walking to the bus stop that day, looking down the street, like at the school with the caution tape and the cops, like, dang, what's going on down there? Walking to my bus stop, going to school, regular old day. I would have never thought that was my brother down there that day, that all that commotion was for. It's just sad, It's just sad. Like, I've healed from my brother being gone. That don't change the fact that I miss him, though, And it's just really sad that somebody killed him, one shot to the head, and 13 years later they about to get out. And I was so confused because this person was on some stuff. They had other charges and stuff like that in other states, so they were supposed to be getting charged once they were released. But I don't really know how that whole thing works. So my thing, when I found out back then, 15 years, although I was a bit disappointed, I'm like, well, at least they're going back to court to get locked up again for some other charges and for armed robbery or something like that. But you never know what the system, especially if some people play the game right and they have good behavior or they make deals or whatever, they can get out. So I don't know. I was really feeling it this morning. I thought 2021 was a year of emotional redemption or whatever you would want to call it, but no. My brother still lives in my spirit, and I miss him. And sometimes I wonder, when you go to heaven and you see your loved ones, are they gonna look like you remember them? Or do they age? Do they age in there and then you still recognize who they are in their elder age? My brother was 19 when he died, and he would be 32 right now. It's not something you ever get over. really. You just get through it, I think, and you come to terms and come to peace with it, which I have, but that don't change when you miss somebody. And somebody that was involved with his killing was a guy that we grew up with. We grew up with this dude, and apparently a few weeks before my brother got killed, this dude and my brother got in a fight around a bunch of people, and my brother beat him up. But you was part of his murder, though? And then the dude went free. You know, that was the craziest thing, yo. He was involved as a suspect, and to see him at school after that was so sickening. I don't even know how you bring yourself back to school, back to your same school after something like that. And it was just so sickening to just see him walking around the campus knowing that he had something to do with that. That's just crazy. I'ma be all right. And I just gotta trust that God's got it and God's gonna handle it. He handles people the way he knows they need to be handled. So for you to kill somebody and for you to do 13 years and you still have a middle finger attitude, something ain't right with you. Something ain't right. My brother dying is one of the main reasons why I am the way I am today. I knew that after my brother died and I still had this strong urge, desire to be happy and peaceful, that's what one of my life's missions was going to be. So when I end all my videos saying in peace and love, that's from the heart. In peace and love. Like, you have to try to live your life in peace and love, because I could be shook on the daily knowing that the person who killed my brother is out of prison, but I can't let nobody like that have that much power over me. And I won't. The Bible says love one another, love everybody, and that's something I never understood before I started getting a little closer to God this year. I never understood that before. Like, okay, God, you want me to forgive this person, I forgive them, but you want me to love them too? What type of stuff you want up there? Like, but the more you learn about life, the more you learn about yourself, the more you learn about peace, happiness, and God, the more you realize love really is very important. So peace and love. You can't have happiness without peace and love. I miss my brother so much. Y'all stay well, y'all stay safe. And until next time, in peace and love, I'm out.